Welcome to the IBM Social Business Everywhere series. In this series, we show how the IBM platform can bring social collaboration to a variety of platforms and tools. In this session, we focus on how the IBM collaboration portfolio can enhance the end-user experience from within the Microsoft Productivity Suite, specifically Outlook, Office, and SharePoint. Before we show you how we can help make Microsoft Office more productive, let's first take a quick look at the IBM Social Business Platform. IBM socializes the core foundations of collaboration, all of which we will show in the following demonstration. IBM SameTime delivers real-time communications, awareness, and telephony. It includes chat, e-meetings, discussion groups, broadcast chats, and integrates telephony and extends presence awareness and management to the environments where you work. IBM Connections delivers social services and facilitates new ways of sharing, teaming, and communicating to unify organizations and help capture organizational knowledge. Social content sharing expands and connects the document lifecycle across personal, team, community, enterprise, and external means to share documents. And finally, integrated experiences means delivering exceptional experiences for you, your customers, partners, and employees in the context of the tools you use every day. It is not isolated to a single IBM product, as we believe collaboration is not encapsulated in a single product or a single site. As this demonstration will show, we believe in bringing collaborative services to the environments where you work, and in this case, to the Microsoft Productivity Suite. So why IBM? Well, we feel that several characteristics differentiate IBM social business from the traditional ways of collaborating. First of all, IBM is a complete platform of collaboration services and an industry-leading social business platform. It is not just an activity stream or a wiki service, it's a complete set of tools. Second, it's IBM, so it's built for business. We believe that social services can make your company more innovative and more competitive, but a simple Facebook for the enterprise is not enough. Change must be manageable and measurable, and communications must be compliant and controllable. And finally, IBM provides the experience to transform your company. Social software for the enterprise has the capability to change the way your company operates and competes, but the software alone is not enough to make that leap. Social business requires planning and assessments in order to provide greater value. At IBM, we have embraced this new way to work and have also helped many of our customers adopt, adapt, and change the way they do work as well. So how does the IBM Social Business Platform enhance the Microsoft Office toolset? There are a great many reasons why IBM is good for Office users. Here are some of the main reasons. First, IBM integration starts at the LDAP level, making sure that all sources of social information are connected and we can deliver a single unified view of people in your organization without drastic changes to the main corporate LDAP. Second, IBM supports and fits into many versions of Office and many different platforms and operating systems, making it easier to connect people with various desktop configurations. And third, we believe in social everywhere, and we can help make SharePoint and Office more social, but we can make other applications and environments social as well. So now, let's begin the demonstration. To start this demo, we'll survey the three main services of the IBM platform as they appear in Microsoft Outlook. In this case, I am using Outlook 2007, but the IBM services also work in Outlook 2003 and 2010. First, we'll quickly survey the menu bars. You can see that IBM Connections, ECM services, and awareness services are all available from the file menus, as well as toolbar menus. We see the IBM Connections toolbar. We can quickly get to activities and other elements of Connections, including search. For SameTime awareness, we can quickly get to chat screens, web meetings, set our status online, as well as our telephony preferences. From the Places menu, I can open the task pane and look at my integrated team stores and ECM systems where I can drag and drop documents and emails to and from these systems. Notice also that we have right-hand context-sensitive menus where appropriate for these services. Now, since Microsoft Outlook is a feed reader and our social network delivers many feeds which we can look at, You can integrate notifications from various systems, from your activity stream, from the top updates on your wall, all easily configured by end users to look at the portions of their activity streams that they require and want to. Also notice that my entire social network has been pulled into my contacts in Microsoft Outlook, so I have quick access with my social network. And finally, I have my Connections activity stream available from the Microsoft Outlook Social Connector. When I select an email, I can quickly see the recent social activity of the sender and a quick link to the activities, items, and in this case, profile of the sender. So let's see how some of these capabilities work, starting with real-time communications. Since Kyle has sent me this email, perhaps I want to start working with Kyle on the issues indicated in his email. I can see from Kyle's status that he is available, and since I have a scheduled meeting at this time, my status has automatically changed to in a meeting. From the toolbar, I can invite Kyle to a web meeting, phone call, or just chat, which is what I will do. Notice that the top of the chat window contains links to all of my other collaborative and social services, and the bottom to chat-related services like screen clipping and document sharing. In this chat, I'm going to ask Kyle to join a web meeting. I could easily start one with just a click of the meeting icon, but I want to show the browser-based meeting capability of IBM SameTime, so I will simply paste in my personal meeting URL, making it as easy as possible for Kyle to join. With just browser access, we can have a video and voice-enabled web meeting, and I don't care what type of meeting client or machine Kyle is currently using. I just want to make it as easy as possible for him to join. It's easy for me, too, as I can just click the URL myself and join the meeting, which is always ready. Now in the meeting, I will start the voice and video. Again, we are only using a web browser, and there are no desktop applications needed on either of our devices to participate in this meeting. IBM makes meetings as simple and painless as possible for attendees. When Kyle joins, I not only see him, but I can tell he is online by the phone icon indicating his status. From the left-hand menus, I can not only share and control access to documents in the meeting library, but I can mute participants, run polls and chats, and lots of other important functions. Finally, to leave the meeting, I simply close the browser window. All very easy. Now, I can also call Kyle directly from Outlook simply by clicking the green call button. I'm going to cancel this, however, and let Kyle call me so I can quickly show the call response screen as well. I can defer the call to my other phones or decline with options. SameTime integrates all of my devices and connects them to my collaboration experience in Outlook. Notice that I can also start a video call with Kyle and we can discuss our tasks in person. From the call window, I can start web meetings, add and control the muting and volume of multiple participants, as well as transfer my call to any of my other numbers or devices. Now, since I use my computer as my primary telephone, let me show you how easy it is to locate yourself at a remote location and receive calls. My awareness is extended to telephony in that I have one single number that my colleagues can call, and no matter where or what device I prefer, they will find me. To receive calls and have it linked to my awareness, I simply add a new number to my phone configuration, for example, the desk number at the location from which I am currently working, and then I can set a rule based on my new location. I can also create rules based on my status and meeting availability, as well as what device I may want to use at any particular time. I can also filter calls for specific people and time. Now let's take a look at some of the social capabilities that are available from the Outlook experience. I'm going to switch over to another email, this one from Frank Adams. I don't know Frank that well, so I want to quickly learn about him and get some context around the information he is sending to me. From the Outlook Social Connector, I can see some of Frank's recent activity, but I need more. From the Outlook menu, I can access Frank's business card and get links to a complete view of Frank. From the business card, I can quickly access the contributions Frank has made across the social services. Let's take a look at Frank's profile page. From here, I can get a complete view of Frank. I can see his availability and status, his address and other typical info, his network of colleagues on the right, and his position in the corporate hierarchy. Again, I also see Frank's expertise, his contributions, and social activity across the various social services, like his bookmarks and his files. These are things I would never know about Frank if I simply looked at his email. Notice, too, that other names are person card aware, so I can get context around the people in Frank's network without jumping around to different profile pages. On the left-hand side, I can also see how people have tagged Frank and how Frank may have tagged himself. Tagging people helps define their expertise. Now let's go back and look at the email Frank sent to me. As is typical, I get emails and I am required to help solve problems by coordinating resources and assembling teams. Frank's email is a typical example of this kind of request, and to solve this, I'm going to start an activity. An activity is a place to manage ad hoc projects wherein I need to quickly team with colleagues and experts and to share information. An activity will allow me to quickly assemble and manage this work and allow me to share the knowledge learned with others. I can add this email and attachment right from Outlook quickly to an existing activity. The pop-up ad screen will allow you to control many of the activity facets. A list of my current activities is shown, and I can add this email and document to an existing activity. If you are creating a new activity from this screen, you can control who can see and how to share without leaving Outlook. Let's see what this looks like from my activity dashboard. When we open up my activity dashboard, you can see that I participate in many activities. Having notifications from these is important in that I don't have to open each and every one to find out what's going on with my projects. There are many more benefits to activities, but we will look at those on another day. When I open the current activity, we can see that an activity contains to-dos, comments and conversations, documents, bookmarks, as well as chats and images shared during chats. If I wanted to, I could notify activity members of any new entries as well, without having to copy and paste the contents into an email. Down at the bottom, we see the email is attached, and the document is attached as well. Now, back in Outlook, since Frank is asking about compliance, I want to search my network to find information, events, or people who know the latest about compliance topics. This search will look at content, metadata, and tags for matches across the entire social network or in various services. The search brings me to the results page, and as you can see, not only are the search items highlighted, but they include a description, dates, tags, and owners, and I can instantly click to open or download the found result. Or I can open the site or community from where the result came. Also, I can filter the results by social application, as well as within each social application. In this case, I will choose to look in communities, as I may want to find a group of experts that have already connected on this topic. I can also filter by people most associated with this topic. This helps me to find experts. And I can also filter by dates and tags here as well. I click on the marketing tag because I am interested in compliance from a marketing perspective and looking to solve an issue with my new financial product. Through this filtering, I have come across a banking community that appears devoted to new products, so I'm going to take a look. Now, within the community, again, I am looking for compliance topics, so I'm going to further filter on that topic from within the community. I come across several results, and now I want to investigate who is contributing and how I can connect to them. I'm going to check the membership and find new people to add to my social network. And since I think this community is important to my work, I will follow the community, allowing me to get posts, comments, and additions to the community in my activity stream and on my board. Also from here, I can email this community of experts and ask questions. Now, to finish our social section, a quick look again at activity streams. Earlier, one of the blog feed entries caught my attention and I want to return to it. I click on the link to the blog, and in this case, it is an ideation blog, and I can vote in support of the idea. Again, IBM Connections provides many feeds that can help you monitor your social environment right from Outlook. Now, let's move on to the integrated document services as they appear in Outlook. Later we'll see how they appear in the Windows operating system, but it's IBM's goal to give a simple and consistent interface that can connect to multiple stores and repositories. In this example, I will open up my compliance repository. I'm going to create a new folder to collect this email and the attached document from Frank. Since it is a request to potentially alter a public-facing product, I want to capture all communications about the change process. When I've created the folder, I can simply drag and drop my email over to the new folder, and I'm prompted for the vital information to check in and work with this document. In this case, I'm going to change the document type to proposal submission. A proposal submission has a pre-planned workflow, and that will allow me to take this item and run it through the compliance process that we have inside of our company. Once I choose that type and click OK, I'm also prompted for more required fields. So you can see that the document services are available from the Outlook environment, but still retain all of their native capabilities for required fields and workflow. When I click OK, that document is checked in. It's locked because it's under a workflow, but when I click it, I can see it in its original format, a Microsoft Outlook email message. Now let's look at how IBM brings its collaborative capabilities to Microsoft Office. In this example, we'll be using Word 2007, but we have capabilities for Excel and PowerPoint as well. Again, we support Office 2010 and 2003 versions. To begin, I have opened up a document and have selected the Same Time menu. From this menu, I can quickly do a screen share, search for a person online, or open my contact list. The search window is a quick lookup with type ahead to find a collaborative partner. Notice that the type ahead also indicates status, including whether or not they're on the phone, as well as their person card. Also, I can access awareness from inside of documents. Using SmartTag integration, I can mouse over names embedded in documents and see their chat, telephony, and meeting availability. I click on Kyle's name, and I see that he is on the phone, so I will chat with him later. Now for a quick view of the document management window. Again, this is much like the interface within Outlook. I can access document service capabilities for adding, deleting, and checking in and out documents. When I click to open, a window shows my repositories and team places. These can be configured and easily added and appear in the Windows Explorer as just another folder. Unlike other folders, however, when I drag and drop to these folders, I will be prompted for necessary information depending on the system and the type of document, as we saw in the Outlook example. Now for some social integrations. I can easily add profile information by searching on a name and selecting the information to be added to the document. This makes it easy to get correct and current information when building out rosters and other documents that require person information. Next, we will add some to-dos to our activity. In this case, I will highlight some bulleted text within the document to use as labels for the activities. Again, notice the robust interface, much like in Outlook, keeping you from having to leave Office and go to the social website to fill in enough information to make this activity to do comprehensible to those assignees and other members of the activity. Notice how easily the interface handles multiple to-dos. Next, we need to add a link, so I'm going to open my bookmarks and add a link to my SharePoint financial reporting site. Again, the interface is rich in looking at my bookmarks, public bookmarks, and more, telling me just not the link name, but who added the bookmark as well. I'm going to save my document, and then we'll look at adding wikis and blogs right from Word. The first case, we'll look quickly at the wiki interface. You can see that I can add it as a child, a peer, or an attachment, and I get a nice interface into the different wikis that I am owner of. Similar with blogs. I open up my blog interface, I see the blogs that I am an owner or participant in, and I can quickly just click OK and add my document as a blog to the blog service. Let's go see how this looks in our blog service. When I open up my activities website, I go to my blogs, We look at the sales regulations, and you can see that the document format was maintained exactly as it was in the document that I was working on inside of Word. Finally, let's look at how IBM can make SharePoint more accessible and more social. We will start here in an IBM Connections community because, as we noticed before, the document library of record for this community was a SharePoint library. Let's see what this looks like. As I look through the banking community and its subcommunities, I see the SharePoint library link on the left menu. Because IBM Connections supports the CMIS standard, you can use any CMIS-based repository as a library for a community. This is important because a lot of existing libraries can benefit from being socialized through communities, allowing important documents that were once siloed to be exposed to experts and audiences across the enterprise. In this example, I have already logged in and my credentials were retained, but when I first came to the site, it prompted me for my distinct credentials. I will only see here what I am allowed to see in SharePoint. From this view, I can see folders and documents, drill down into folders, and see the appropriate menu items for folders and documents. I can check documents in and out right from this interface, and you can also notice that some documents I can download only. Permissions are being observed. I can also upload a new file right from this interface. I can do a lot of my library work right from Connections, but I can also go directly to the associated SharePoint site right from the link. In this example, we are using SharePoint 2010. First, notice that the main library is the same as that exposed in the Connections community, including subfolders. The integration exposes all of the libraries from the SharePoint site, as you saw when we were first prompted to choose a folder for a file upload. The first integration to point out is that of the person card. The person card can easily be embedded into any person-based lists. Notice that in my person card, I have awareness included so that I don't have to add extra code throughout the SharePoint site to make names aware. They can simply be surfaced through the card, and I can click right on the card to start a chat. Notice also that my personal SharePoint site is available from the card. The person card is simple HTML and can be extended in many different ways. When I click the link, I am directed to my personal site where I can see my personal and shared files on SharePoint. Now let's return to the financing site, and you will see a few custom web parts as well as some feed-based integrations using the SharePoint RSS web part. Using this web part, I can include sections of the Connections interface, in this case my wall, where I can post my status. On the left there is a custom web part for social bookmarks. I can expand and collapse entries and open up the bookmark targets. There is also a Tag Cloud web part where I can search my social network. I can shrink and grow the cloud and view the results from the Connections search page. Again, back at our site, you'll see on the top right that there is a Person Finder web part. From this web part, I can search the full directory of profiles by name or text key. In this example, I will use the star character and find all users. From this search, I can see information about a person and links to their profile. I can use this screen to find and add the person to my SharePoint site. I will select a new colleague and show how the administration screen is populated with their qualified name. Finally, we return to the RSS capabilities in SharePoint. In this last example, I have embedded the entire IBM Connections site into a SharePoint page. Click-throughs are honored, and if the use case is for simple integration, it can work rather well. That concludes our look at the many ways in which IBM collaboration services enhance Microsoft Office, Outlook, and SharePoint. In summary, IBM brings distinct value to Microsoft users by making the documents and presentations created in Office more visible and known to one's colleagues, and makes Outlook more about sharing than sending. And because IBM supports many platforms, it's easier to unify people in your organization with less constraints while keeping them in the tools in which they are familiar. Because IBM focuses on social everywhere, we eliminate the destination site approach wherein people need to go to a site to collaborate. Further, the integrations you have seen here are based on simple client installs and some server components. And finally, the IBM platform is effective because it works where you do from many mobile platforms, and it can be justified by reporting its effectiveness. These tools and support come at no additional charge. We thank you for watching this IBM Social Business presentation. You can search YouTube and other social media with the text IBM Social Business to find more detailed demonstrations and comparisons of the IBM Social Business platform.